Wolcen Studios, I have some questions. Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we are headed to the world of Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. The good old developers from Wolcen Studios have dropped their May development update as part of their commitment to the community to ensure they are giving us communication every month. And I have to say, I really appreciate that. So far, you have kept your word. But I do have some questions about this communication, because we're going to break it down right now. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Right now, we are on the official Steam page for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem under News. Posted Wednesday, May 5th, development update, May 2021. Now, before we get into this, I just want to put it out there that Wolcen Studios has already personally reached out to me to see if I have any questions about this communication, and I have submitted quite a few questions. So they haven't gotten back to me yet, but if we get some solid answers, I will make another video. Okay, I'm going to try and keep my composure as we go through this. Hello, everyone. Here is our monthly development update to let you all know about what we're working on and what you can expect in the up-and-coming content updates. Looks like we're going to find out a lot. I like it. Recent improvements to our studio workflow and structure allow us to both work on short-term content and improvements as well as bigger long-term updates. We are thus currently working on a major update. Okay, they're working on a major update that will bring game-changing features to the game and for which we have very strong ambitions. With that in mind, we do plan on taking the time needed to fully develop this major update, and we will tell you more about it as development progresses. Okay. In the first paragraph, we have found out that there is now 2 teams at Wolcen Studios, one working on short-term projects and one working on long-term. Great, I guess. Okay. Here we go. In the meantime, our goal is to have content patches to be released regularly. First question for Wolcen Studios. What does regularly mean? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Is it yearly? We would take an estimate. How often will we get content patches? Because regularly doesn't mean anything. That will add new environments, monsters, skills and skill variation, as well as new items, endgame activities, and other core feature improvements. Pause. Endgame activities. New endgame activities. Second question I posed. Does that mean we are getting a new endgame system, or just like something different to do during the expeditions? Because we have been asking for something other to do than expeditions for a very long time. So that was the second question I asked. What is endgame activities? Does that mean you are actually working on a new endgame system? And to ensure that we can have every new feature thoroughly tested before releasing them, they will be split and added throughout several content patches. Okay, here's where I start to have a problem. So it told you about new environments, monsters, skills, skill variation, items, endgame activities, and core feature improvements. So you would think that that is something they are working on for the next update. But when they hit you with, they will be split and added throughout several content patches, well, now you have no idea. That's basically the same as saying, well, there'll be some time in the future, because we don't know what released regularly means. And all this stuff is so vague, and it's also not coming on a future, is coming on a future patch, but we don't know when, because it's going to spread out among multiple patches. Next paragraph, which is a whole lot of fun. Bloodstorm Part 2 will bring new environments, new monsters, the loot filter improvements, animation improvements, and bug fixing. Now, if you will notice, if you remember this paragraph that we just talked about right here, it said new environments and monsters, and now you see those two carry over to Bloodstorm Part 2, where it says new environments and new monsters, which would mean that these two are some of the features that they are going to sprinkle across multiple patches and bring it to this one. I don't know why they just don't say that. While we worked on these features, we also decided to add some additional quality of life improvements based on your feedback. Okay, you listening to this? While we worked on these features I just said, We also decided to add some additional quality of life improvements based on your feedback, which required a small enough development time for us to add it to the next update. Okay? Let me finish reading. On top of the other additions and improvements that it will bring to the game. Okay? So now we are talking about Bloodstorm Part 2. And in the same paragraph, it says next update. I'm not reading that wrong. But Bloodstorm Part 2 from previous communication was the major update. Okay? So Bloodstorm Part 2 in this paragraph is saying that it's the next update. And up here, it is saying that it's the major update that they have very strong ambitions for, and they are going to need some time to get it right. But if the major update is being worked on by the long-term team and it's the next update we're getting, what's the short-term team getting? Okay, I'm gonna give my overall feedback in a second, okay? I think you guys see where my brain's going. We're not done. The next content patches that will be released after Bloodstorm Part 2 are of course already being worked on, and while we already announced that they will bring the crafting UI and summons improvement, they will also come with new content and improvements. While we work on these, we will monitor your suggestions and when possible add them to the top of the already planned content if the development time required is small enough, or have them queued for a release on a future content patch if it isn't. Okay, so again, on here, the content patches that will be released after Bloodstorm Part 2 are already in the works, and it's going to be crafting and summons, which they talked about back in March. And by the way, almost daily, people ask me to update my summoning build for Wolcen Lords of Mayhem, and I will completely revamp and make a whole new breakdown video updated for whatever the next content patch is once we get summons. So once we get the summons improvements, I will make an entirely new video on my guide. Okay, just putting that out there. But again, in this paragraph, they are talking about how they are working on content patches after Bloodstorm, which would mean that that possibly is the next patch. Finally, we're working on new content does not mean that we do not work on bug fixing. We will keep on releasing bug fixing patches, both resolving existing issues that still need to be addressed on potentially new issues that might appear with new content being released. We will keep on improving the game, and we will always do so with your feedback and suggestions in mind while keeping you all updated on the progress and plans in these monthly development updates. Thank you all for your support and have a great day. Okay. I read it all. You heard my opinions. In all honesty, what did you learn? What did you learn from this? There's two teams, one working on major, one working on smaller. We have no idea when we're getting the next update. And honestly, I have no idea what's going to be in the next update because it is not clearly communicated, okay? I've submitted the questions to Wolcen Studios, and I hope I get answers on the questions that I have. Wolcen, you have listened to the community in the past as far as us wanting monthly communication, and you are doing that, okay? Now listen to this feedback. Could not be more clear, okay? You need to communicate better now. This is literally what you should say. Hello everybody, we are working on the next content patch and we are so excited to get it into your hands, and we hope that it is coming very soon. The next update is Bloodstorm Part 2, part of our major release that is coming sometime in May, sometime in June, sometime in whenever. As part of this major update, this is what you will see. And as you know, now that we have more teams, we are already working on the content patch after Bloodstorm Part 2 because we want to make sure we are getting you regularly updated content every other month. You don't need all this other jargon. You could literally bullet point it for us. You could write a sentence and then just put bullet points, and we would be happy for that. I don't want to have to try and decipher what you're trying to say. What is the name of the next update? Because I'll tell you, I went through the prior communication thinking maybe I missed something, and I didn't. I did not miss anything. I have no idea what the name is for the next update. Okay? So what is it? And what do you plan on actually putting in it? And then the update after that, what is the plan? okay? I am beating a dead horse. Thank you for communicating every single month. Now we are asking you to just be clearer. You can put half of the words in here and tell us more. Now, before we close out this video, it's important to me to see what the community is saying about this news update. Make sure I'm not on an island by myself with my opinions. It's not about dogpiling on top of Wolcen. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's read some comments from the community that have read this communication. We need controller support. So many people will buy this. Everything sounds great. I wish the regiment upgrade system could be changed. Oh, they plan on changing it. Who knows when? All the fans have already gone to PoE and Last Epoch. Ooh, I love both of those games. Comment on controller support. That was a thing to be there from day one. Backers paid for that as the first or one of the first KS funding golds. But yeah, don't hold any hope. It's been years. A basic feature ignored. Not even mentioned. We didn't forget. Yee. Fans have already moved over to their games. That's absolutely right. It's in special for Last Epoch, by which it's only worse in visuals, but on the rest, even in EA, is 100 miles ahead. I do love me some Last Epoch. It's currently my #1 recommendation for ARPGs. I once wrote a positive feedback about the game, but I once wrote positive feedback about the game, but if this something called development continues like this, I will change it to negative. Yikes. Promises are nice, but even more than a year after release, you're still falling short on most of those you've made in the past. Even worse, the more updates, the less the game is performing well frame rates wise. So we'll see if this report ends with the same empty promises boat. No controller support. Won't buy again. Controller! What about the next act? Continue the story. It was promised that there would be more acts in the near future after the release. Now the game is already dying according to the players' numbers. This is true. Did they fix the disconnect from online servers yet? I will just read this middle part. Where is controller support? Man, why can't they add that into the game? It's everywhere. Also, I was excited when I saw Wolcen pop up on news and library, only to be disappointed. Another update, another news post, no controller, anything. Look at this. Keep up the good work. I know this game will be great Diablo alternative. Are we going to get animation cancel or what? Or that's out of the picture. I have to say, current comments don't look very good. Wolcen, do better. All right, everybody, that's the video. I want to know from you, did I miss something with this communication? Was it clear as day for you and potentially I did not put 2 and 2 together? Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We are getting very close to 900 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this Wolcen video and I hope I get some answers to make the next one. That's it. Aaron, out.